Page 6 now, the race for the White House. Former governor of Maryland, Martin O'Malley, is now running for president on the Democrat side. Meantime, for the Republicans, a Bloomberg Politics poll in Iowa, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker is leading in the Hawkeye State with 17%. Rand Paul, Ben Carson, 10% each. Jeb Bush and Mike Huckabee, each with 9%. And as of Monday, there are now 9 declared Republican candidates for president.
I want to be president to defeat the enemies that are trying to kill us. Not just penalize them or criticize them or contain them, but defeat them. Ronald Reagan's policy of peace through strength kept America safe during the Cold War. Remember those times? But I've come to conclude we will never enjoy peaceful coexistence with radical Islam, because its followers intend to destroy our way of life. However, America can be and will be secure only if we have strength. Security through strength will protect us.
Now, Graham and former New York Governor George Pataki only show up as hash marks in polling, so there's lots of room to improve. But back to the Democrats. One candidate is not afraid to show his true socialist colors, is he? Joining me now, author, speaker, strategic consultant, and Daily Ledger contributor T.J. O'Hara. T.J., Hillary often hides her Marxist tendencies, but Bernie Sanders, no, he's pretty much open with them.
Yeah, Bernie was actually on CNBC the other day, and if you can get past the fact of Bernie Sanders on a business network, he was railing against media for not understanding the stress on the American public. He was saying that they're horrific examples of growth just for the sake of growth when we've got climate change and environmental problems. But his big deal was that we had a choice of 23 deodorants and 18 sneakers when children are starving. So I think Bernie has a little bit of a problem connecting the dots. So here's an exercise I would encourage him to take before he does his next economic lecture. Think back 100 years, 34 of which you've served in public office, Senator, and think of how many people have been lifted from poverty by capitalism. Then count the number of people that socialism has done that for, and let me know if you get to 2 hands.
We'll see if he takes you up on your offer. Very kind offer. When I've pretty much figured out that when you look up quid pro quo, you Google it, you know what comes up in terms of the images? Pictures of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Yeah, try it.
Yeah, speaking of capitalism and hypocrisy, you've got Bill Clinton just came out the other day that he had given a speech for a small charity, the Happy Hearts Fund in New York back in 2014, and it sounded like this was a good thing. This is a charity run by Petra Nemcova, who actually experienced the Indian Ocean tsunami back in 2004. It's trying to raise money to build schools for India as well as for Haiti because of the 2010 Haitian earthquake. And she petitioned Bill because of the name to try and draw people in for her fund, and he did give a speech. However, it turns out that he denied the request for months until they offered $500,000 to the Clinton Foundation. So that's kind of the reverse Robin Hood theory. This is kind of robbing from the poor to give to the rich. But there is one positive in this. From a moral standpoint, I think you're seeing a shift within Bill Clinton's compass. You know, Petra Nemcova, if you don't know, is a beautiful international model who's graced the pages of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Now, in the past, Bill Clinton would have paid $500,000 to be anywhere near her. Now, money takes a precedence.
Interesting perspective. And when you go to the great state of California, remember Proposition 8? It's now a faded, distant memory. It was the democratic process unfolding in California. The people of California voted against gay marriage. That's a faded memory now. It's taken a back seat to Governor Moonbeam and all of his crazy edicts out of Sacramento.
Well, he actually just signed off on something related to that the other day, SB 1306, I believe it is. And what they're doing in family code is replacing the words husband and wife with the word spouse. Now, that doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but they're doing it because they say husband and wife are outdated and gender biased. Now, if you think back when marriage was being debated against civil union, the reason people focused on the word marriage is because it had a certain emotional gravitas and spiritual gravitas. But now those same people are being denied the right to be able to use the terms husband and wife. You know, we can't be too far away before the governor steps up, merges Mother's Day and Father's Day into something like Caregivers Day. And I predict in a short period of time, probably going to eliminate all national holidays, replace them with politically correct day, and you and I will be forced to probably, fly white flags as an indication of the surrender of common sense.
Vanilla holidays, I can just see it now. The municipalities across this country, many of them have turned off their red light cameras, so they're lacking this revenue stream. So now they're turning to other punitive revenue streams to pick up for that gap.
Yeah, there's actually a city called Pagedale, Missouri, or Missouri, as Hillary Clinton might say in her pathetically slow, false Southern accent. And what they've done is they've actually abused the system even more than the traffic fines were doing. So now you get fines if your pants are too low or your grass is too high. You're not allowed to play in the streets anymore. You're not allowed to have a basketball hoop at the end of your cul-de-sac. All of these ridiculous things. My favorite, though, is you can't stand by idly. Now, if that's really enforced, what's going to happen to the people who serve in elected office? I mean, isn't that what they fundamentally do? So you start looking at what they're doing. There are a little over 3,300 residents in this area. They've already given, in the year, 2,255 fines. So why not just issue one on January 1st, give everybody a fine, be done with it, collect the money, and move forward from there?
It's a brilliant idea. They'll probably start a bill in Congress to do exactly that. Thanks, TJ.
You're welcome.